I just sat through this evening and the word Pluto kept coming to my head. Did something on Pluto. Pluto and the collective. Make a video on that. Guess what I found? Welcome to my channel. Pluto's journey through Capricorn, which we are undergoing right now, part of the shift. It's going through Uttara Ashada Nakshatra, which is the part 2 nakshatras in Capricorn, Shravana and Uttara Ashada, which will come to. Right now we are going through the Ashada 2020 to 2026. This is the journey. And I just rewinded the clock. You can see two clocks of charts over here. One is of 24th July 1775, 1 year before America won its independence, right? 1776, July was its Independence Day. 4th of July, as everyone knows. 1775, same Pluto over Uttara Ashada in that date. Fast forward 247 years later, now we are in 25th May 2022, and there you see Pluto is again back in the same spot, 4 degrees of Uttara Ashada. It will take a couple of years, but I'll come to that in the next part. So 247 years later, Pluto is in exactly the same spot. So what was going on historically at that time? Well, fight from the collective over the ruling powers, right? Whatever the colonial powers of British were there. That time America was fighting against that, and it overcame that, and it was 1 year away from independence. But what was happening at this juncture specifically? New alliances were being formed. If you go and Google this, you can come across the Library of Congress and it will tell you what all kind of alliances were being formed and dissolved, right? Whenever a collective is opposing the hierarchical powers, right, what tends to happen is newer and newer alliances at the base tend to form. It shifts and changes till it achieves a particular stability. So that was what was going on in 1775. So what does Pluto stand for? Pluto stands for renewal and revival. Its lower aspect is Mars and Ketu, the south node. It brings about permanent transformation, letting go of personal ego, collective ego as well. Upheaval, unearthing stuff. Pluto is the lord of the deep. It tends to unearth stuff, the hidden subconscious, unconscious, and so on. It has got power to grant victory. That is the Uttara Ashada theme, sorry. Subconscious and collective unconscious. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. It tends to dig out the subconscious, unconscious, which is basically buried under the layers of ego, individual or collective ego, and it tends to bring it out. This is what feels like death and transformation. Death in this context meaning just being transformation. Old going away and new coming in, part of the shift. It is regeneration and rebirth through death, okay? Dissolution of ego and collective ego. That's what Pluto is. Let's look at what Saturn is, because Uttara Ashada is the first nakshatra in Capricorn. As you can see over there, this is Capricorn. The first is Uttara Ashada, next is Shravana. We'll be approaching that. Saturn, first let's look at what Saturn stands for. The rebel. Saturn is the rebellious. Is a rebellious worker, outcast, pragmatic, pessimistic and frugal. Is a quiet laborer, a bureaucrat, practical administrator, works through fear and worry. Deals with hidden secrets. Look at that again. The same theme as Pluto over there. It deals with hidden secrets, underground resources, lower dimensions of existence. Saturn is called the lord of the underworld, planetarily speaking, from the astrology. Shadow aspects and death. Look at what Pluto does there, and look at what Saturn is doing here. I was just blown away by this. I was like, wow. It demands respect through slow and steady work. Saturn is also called the lord of karma and lord of time itself, because Saturn slows down everything it touches. Every house, every nakshatra it passes through, it slows it down. Take your time, work practically, go through every step. That's Saturn. Seeking slowing down, contraction of the qualities of the house it sits in. Now it's sitting in the house of Pluto is coming through that. It's creating transformation of these Saturn themes, and it works very well with Saturn, by the way. Look at what Saturn does, goes dig deep, subconscious, etc. Pluto does the very same thing. So it's like a harmonization of things, so to speak. It will give wisdom, but with some degree of harshness. Saturn is a harsh teacher. Imagine a teacher you had or professor you had in your school or college. Harsh taskmaster. But he got your point through. He gave you the knowledge, he gave you the wisdom, but in a kind of stick way, okay, with a harsh stick in it. That's Saturn. Into seeking fame will work for humanity. That's the good news. Selfless, wants to ground and materialize. Saturn wants to ground and materialize. That's why Saturn's symbol is like this. You see the Saturn symbol over there which I am pointing to? It's got the sickle, it's called sickle, and the cross. It's got the sickle, but sickle is trying to take things from the earth. That's the symbol of Saturn. And cross is where it has already mastered the stuff. So mastered the top part of it, now it wants to dig deep and unearth the stuff. It's just the opposite of Jupiter. If I can show you Jupiter over here, the number 4 sign that you see, that is Jupiter. Jupiter has got sickle on the up. It tries to harvest things and give in the physical world. It has already conquered the lower stuff. So that's why Jupiter and Saturn are opposite type of energies in a way. Uttara Ashada themes. What are Uttara Ashada themes? They are governed by Vishwadevas. Vishwadevas is like the celestial architect. Okay? One who has built the entire creation. So they have entire powers of universal creation. 33. Think about this. 33. 33 universal powers. Power to grant victory is one of their themes. Goodwill. Truth. A lot of truth telling will come out in these years, 2020 to 2026. It's got the willpower. And it's a lot of time as well. Again, we spoke of time as the aspect of Saturn here. Okay? Skillfulness and forbearance, teamwork, collaboration, victory with unity. Uttara stands for victory not as in one guy with some charisma or charismatic leader or dictator trying to achieve victory. No. Uttara is about the collective. It wants to achieve through the collective. Victory with unity, ancestors and abundance. A lot of ancestor energy there. And it achieves victory through teamwork and through collaboration. This is the first part. Let me talk of the next part where we are, what's the period we are going through here. We are going through this period in the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada from 2020 to 2026. A total period of 6 years. This is the first half of transition of Pluto through the Capricorn, through the nakshatra of Uttara Ashada. So we got 6 years in which these themes will play out. So my take on this is there's going to be a lot of collaborative networks, and social media is a big platform for that. A lot of collaboration between different kind of people, different kind of groups, different kind of scientific groups, different kind of all kind of think tanks around the world, on social media platforms. Collaborative platforms is one of the themes. Because Pluto transition also brings about transformation, and what had happened during 1775, lots of alliances are shifting and changing, power structures are shifting and changing, who are their friends, who are their not so good friends. You can see that happening right now, and it's going to happen more and more. It happened in 1775, and it's going to transform more because we are in a different time and a different energy completely now. So the same sort of theme might play out, but in a completely different context of 2022. Understand it that way. So as I see it, it's going to be more of changing faces of alliance between countries, changing faces of alliance between unions of countries of different kinds, changing face of all kinds of friendships. Who do you call friends? The friends and enemies when it comes to countries are shifting whenever the theme changes in the heavens. The theme has changed, folks. Since 2020 it has changed. So now we are recalibrating everything. Different countries are already thinking of different alliances, and that's what is governed by this journey. Pluto is transforming everything. Pluto is breaking apart old alliances, forming new friendships. This is just a process of growth, and it happens continuously. Okay? So next I will take at some point, whenever I feel called to do this, Pluto's journey through the next half of Capricorn, which is Shravana Nakshatra. By the way, Uttara Ashada Nakshatra also is more of Rudra kind of energy. It's the fierce aspect of Shiva. It's the first aspect is of destruction. Rudra is the one who is called the storm god. It destroys everything in its path. And guess what Pluto does there? It does the very same thing. So there is strong energy of removal of all old institutions, removal of all old kind of thinking, old groups, old friendships, old alliances, because there's the Rudra energy to it. Okay, simple. That's the first part of Capricorn, Uttara Ashada. And victory in that, by the way. Victory through common people. Saturn loves doing the common people stuff. Next part, when it goes through Shravana Nakshatra, that is 2026 onwards, it is going to be more about keeping the new thing in place. It is governed by Vishnu, the preserver. So when Pluto transits through that, it solidifies whatever new has been created. It tries to make it proper. It tries to preserve it. Vishnu is the preserver. Okay? Also, I'll leave you with that much for now. Take care. Be safe.